What is up YouTube? My name is, as always, Mr. Esnorp, and today we have a whole different video on this channel, because today we are exploring some of the depths of the free-to-play RuneScape money-making methods. And if you enjoy this one, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, just to be clear, free-to-play is really important, because if you start to play RuneScape 3, chances are that you are actually not a member player, and you will start on the free-to-play worlds and have to find your way around Gielinor. And most of the free-to-play players, I think, have just one goal in mind, and this is to one day go to the Grand Exchange and buy one of these juicy bonds just to become a member. And obviously a bond is really expensive, because it's about 130 mil at the moment, which is a lot of money even for member players, and especially when you are no member, this is definitely a hard bit to earn. But to be fair, it is also gotten a little bit easier, because just a few weeks ago bonds were about 180 mil, so this is definitely a great thing for all the free-to-play members. But I want to show you guys and test with you guys some methods that I found out that are actually the best money-making methods for free-to-play players, and see how much money you can actually make per hour with those, and how long it would take for a normal player to get a membership on his account if he does not want to pay the hard-earned real-life money for it, or maybe you just don't have it. So let's see how this goes. Just to be clear, I am here on a alt account of mine. This is actually the first alt account I did besides my main account, and he has some okay stats, I think, especially combat stats are on a good level. We have 99 herb lore and necromancy, melee combat, and all that shenanigans. He also has a really sick cape, to be honest. But I also had some cash to spend on supplies and stuff for my money-making methods. And I think this is also a really important side note, because some of the money-making methods that I will show you guys now also need you to have already a little bit of money to spend it. But I will also show you one that is completely off the grid and does not need anything beforehand. So I think we just start with that one. So to make some starter cash on a free-to-play account, the method is actually pretty simple. You just simply have to teleport to Draenor Village and then walk down the path to the Wizard's Tower. And at the Wizard's Tower there is a creep, or there are some creeps, I have to say, which are really a nice moneymaker. We are talking about these wisps right here, the spell wisps. They are level 18, only have 650 HP, and if you kill one, they will drop you all kind of stuff, but more importantly, or most important, they will always drop you an Imperial Ash. An Imperial Ash, or no, not Imperial Ash, it's Impious Ash, I don't know how to pronounce that, but whatever, you know what I mean. This item has worth about 2.5k if you sell it in a Grand Exchange. And the best thing about it is that you have all the wisps right here, and right here you have a bank deposit. So you just right click her, press deposit, and then you can simply just put all your items to the bank and then go ahead, fill an inventory again, and you can do this for, yeah, just like, I don't know, how long do you want to do it? Just do it, you know. So I killed those wisps for about 5 minutes now. I just tried it out, teleporting from the PVM up straight to Draenor Village, walking down there and then kill them for 5 minutes. And I made some profits with it, because as you can see in my selling history, I actually forgot to press record where I did all of that shenanigans. You can see that I made about 120k with the Impious Ashes. Then we also had some wizard wands, some runes that I sold, and also some talismans and some wizard wardrobes and all that shenanigans. And all the profit that we made is about 134k. And actually, if you do it for an hour, I think the profit will be a little bit higher, since you only have to walk once there, and from my 5 minutes it took about 30 seconds just to go to the place, you know. But whatever, we take those 134k and then we multiply them by 12 just to get to the value that you will have in an hour, and this will be about 1.6 million coins that you can do by just simply killing those really easy to kill wisps and make some money as a free-to-play. Sure, this is not the best moneymaker that you can do, but you almost need no stats. You just need a weapon that is able to kill a 650 HP mob, and you can basically just start now. So this is definitely a really good money maker to start and to fund some different money makers that we will take a look at right now. The next moneymaker I try to look at is to cast the spell Bones to Bananas. And this spell actually is pretty simple explained because it takes bones and it will make them to bananas. And if you look at the Grand Exchange, for example, you can see that a banana is actually more worth than some bones. So this could be a pretty easy moneymaker just to do while standing at the bank. Because for example, if we look at the wiki, this method actually should make us a profit about 5 million per hour, which would be a really nice number. So let's try it out. So I transformed 500 bones to 500 bananas, and this took me about 50 seconds. Just to be clear, you can do a lot of bananas in 1 hour because it's just one press of a button and you will transform a whole inventory. So let's make the calculations and see how much profit we actually made with this method. Okay, so with current prices, and all I did was insta buying the stuff, I bought the bones for 325 coins, the earth runes for 27 coins, and the nature runes for 430 coins. Which means that to make all these bananas that I sold, I had to spend about 170k just to get the bones and the runes. And then we sold the bananas for about 192k. So we can now take this 192k, 895, and we will make a profit of about 21k. And if we take this number now, and since we know we used about 50 seconds for this, we will divide it by 50 just to be clear what we made in 1 second. Then we will add or multiply it with 60, so this is the profit in about a minute. And then we just take this number and we will also multiply it by 60, and this will net profit us about 1.5 million coins per hour. Now this number is definitely lower than it says on the wiki, but to be clear right here, I insta bought all the stuff. And I just insta sold the bananas. So if you have some time and you can wait until the bones are bought, you can maybe buy them for 300 coins or a little bit less, and you can make a nicer profit. But just to staying at a bank and casting a spell, this is some really nice money, and it is really easy to do. And all the requirements that you have is level 15 in magic, so it's also really easy to unlock and definitely worth a try. Next up on the list, I want to try and have a look at the skill smithing. And especially now with rune bars, there are some items that should net profit me a lot of money if we ask the wiki. So the method I want to try out is smithing rune claws +3. Because rune claws actually have a pretty high price in the Grand Exchange, especially if you put them in the +3, and you will have a way higher price than the supplies cost. Just to be clear, one bronze bar costs about 5 or 6k coins, and you need 8, so you need about 47 to 50k spending on the materials, and you should be then able to sell this in the Grand Exchange for 170k. But just to be clear right here again, these items don't have the highest trading value on the Grand Exchange, so it can be that you have to wait quite a while until they sell for one of those prices. But nonetheless, I want to try this. I will again stop the time, see how long it takes me just to make one rune claw, and then we see how much money I can make while smithing here with rune items. Okay, so I decided to smith 2 rune claws, and this took me about 10 minutes to be exact. It was really about 10 minutes. I think I fucked up a little bit while stopping the timer and stuff, so I think we can easily calculate with 10 minutes. So let's see how much they sell for now, because this is also a really important point, obviously, because without selling them you will make no money, you know. And yeah, let's go to the Grand Exchange. Okay, I was able to sell them. They did not insta sell, to be clear, and I also have to reduce the price to about 145k. So this is definitely something that you always have to be aware of when you try to make money on a no members account, because a lot of these no mem items just don't really sell, or you have to wait to sell them just because, yeah, you know, people don't really buy them. I think with the rune equipment you actually have a good chance, because you can use them to dismantle in invention to get some components. That's why I think a lot of people will buy them still, but normally you will have to wait, and this is just, yeah, the harsh truth about free to play. So whatever, we made 290k with them, and we also had to spend on the bars. I'm not sure if I still have the price here, but I don't think so. Let's just buy one rune bar for a really high price, just to see how much we have to spend. About 6.1k if we want to insta buy. So we take this 6.1k, and then we also used 16 bars for these two, so about 100k. We made back about 290k, so I think we can say it was about 190k coins that we made profit in this 10 minutes. If we then again multiply this by 6, we will also make about 1 million per hour. But to be clear, this method I think is definitely better than the bones to bananas method, because the bones to banana method is really click intensive. So I have to sit here and click and click and click and click, and for the smithing method I can just buy the bars, go to the anvil, and then just smith them while completely doing other stuff. I watched videos and all the shenanigans, and I don't have to spend any awareness in here. But yeah, so making money as a free-to-play player in RuneScape 3 is definitely tough. It's really hard because the margins aren't that good, the items aren't sold a lot in the Grand Exchange and all that shenanigans. But there is one method left that is, according to the wiki, the best method in the game. And this is tanning dragon hides. Because you can buy a portable crafter in the Grand Exchange that you can place, and then you can tan, for example, green dragon hides to make green dragon leather, and then you have a good margin on them and you can sell them back to the Grand Exchange. So let's try again to tan those 1000 green dragon hides that I bought off the Grand Exchange, and see if this is actually a good moneymaker or if it's not, you know, because according to the wiki you should make about 8 million coins per hour with this method, which would be an insane number, especially if you want to farm your first bond. And maybe we also have some luck and there is a crafter already placed somewhere around here. No, let's up some world and see if we find one. Oh, 2 worlds later we actually found one, which is really great. So yeah, I think we take out these dragon hides. I override the preset that I had for the bone method thingy. Why can't I override it? What is this, man? This is kind of annoying. Okay, perfect. And now let's tan some hides and see how long it takes to make those 1000 pieces, and then make the calculations again. So I'm back again. This took me about 2 minutes, a little bit more, but I also did not have the best latency to the server because it's an Australian server and I live in Europe, so it's not the best thing. But now let's go to the Grand Exchange, let's sell those dragon leathers and see if this method is actually worth anything or if it's just a waste of time. So the best thing is they insta-sold, which is always a good thing because we are on a no members world. And a really good thing again is that we have a good margin on these thingies. So let's make the calculations now, and oh boy, I'm kind of hyped because I think this moneymaker actually is worth a lot. So we spent 621,000 coins just on the dragon hides. We did not have to buy a portable crafter ourselves, but let's pretend that we have to do, and let's add about 25,000 to those 625k. Then we also had to spend some money on tanning the hides, because per hide you spend 20 coins, so this is again 20,000 coins. I do not have to calculate this, but I did. It's 20,000 coins that we can add to our money that we had to spend on the dragon hides. So we spent 666k just to make those dragon leathers. And then we sold them for 870k, which means that this is actually a really good moneymaker, because this is 204k profit in just 2 minutes, I have to remind you. So this was really quickly done. So now let's divide this by these 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So let's divide it by 132 seconds. Then we have the money, 1000 coins, that we made in about 1 second with this method. And now, yeah, multiply this by 60, which is about 92k a minute, and again by 60, so we get to about 5.5 million GP that I made with this method by insta selling, insta buying, and using a portable Fletcher crafter myself. This is actually an insane number. Just to be clear, this is for no members a really good method. It was definitely really fun and a really interesting thing to do, to explore the depths of free-to-play RuneScape. But I just have one tip left for all of you guys if you are a free-to-play player that wants to start the grind and then get the bond. This tip is kind of simple, and for most people I think it's also common sense. But it's really important that when you try to buy a bond and when you are able to buy a bond, that your main goal as a member in this game should then be to buy another bond. So, just to be fair with you guys, if you have the money earned on a free-to-play world to buy a bond, just remember to grind out your account a little bit and then make it as a member, so you can use a lot of the member content, and you also can use a lot of the member money makers, because there are some insane money makers out there for members that will profit you a lot more than 5 million per hour. And also there are, for example, some stuff like Dailyscape, when you do your Wizwax every day, where you can make a daily profit of about 1.5 or 2 million just by doing this for a few minutes and stuff. And these are all kind of content that are really important that you do them if you want to stay a member as a bond user, let's call it like that. But yeah, I think it's definitely doable. It's a hard grind, but it's doable. And if you don't want to spend this real life money on the membership, I can fully understand that. And yeah, this is basically how I would do it if I had to do it. And yeah, that's it with that video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment if you have something to say. And now I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day and see you then. Bye.